Hmm. Main. Ooh. So it's gonna give him 6 mana. No, 5. 5 mana. Let's see what they can do. Like, the curse is just a straight up wrath, so. Okay, we're taking 7. We get to clean up. Yeah. And Gearhulk is a much worse Kavaero target than Ouroborid was. Kavaeroing Ouroborid is one of the ones. They just went wide enough that I'm just gonna die. Well, no, maybe. Let's see. So I have to go to 4 to shock myself, but I'll be able to Withering Curse away 3 of their dudes, and then shoot the Sheriff 1, block the Temple Garden, and then I go to 1. Yeah, well. I should have tapped better and bounced this instead. Unfortunate. I think we started off with 3 lands in our opener. I mean, it was 3 lands and 2 cornucopias, in all fairness. Hey, look. So if I Deceit to peek at their hand, then I can Kavaero the Deceit to get rid of the loot. But if I do the lead with the Wistfulness and they counter it, then Kavaero can only do 1/2 of the Wistfulness. I might be being too greedy here, but let's see what they got. Okay. And now to do black. Should have moved into my next step. If I get 3 steps here, I deserve to lose. Yep. That's frustrating. Welcome everyone, Sean here. Got my first video that I'm able to record since the Pro Tour happened this past weekend. Been very busy, so have not been putting out a bunch of content. And last weekend was the Arena Direct, so the little magic that I could play was mostly spent just taking bullets at the Arena Direct. So I won 2 boxes, ended up a few $100s on the weekend, so it was good fun. But now we're back to Constructed. The sealed format was great. You get to just play all these soupy decks, which is the kind of magic that I like to play. So had to indulge myself. But I'm back with some more constructed, and was browsing through the lists from the Pro Tour. The general story from the Pro Tour seemed to be like, was the deck that was the most represented across a couple different archetypes or ways to build Izzet. But like if you combined all of them, it was like 40% of the metagame or something like that. But the Izzet decks did not put up a ton of good numbers into the top 8. I think there was like a Lessons deck, and I don't know. But the real successful decks on the weekend were the Landfall decks, which came in first and second, and then the Gear Hulk deck that Matt Nass played was in the top 4. So it was very much the Cub decks that came out on top on the weekend. And the metagame has kind of adjusted naturally. But browsing through the lists, unfortunately, not a lot of people playing the cards that I've been liking to brew with. But if you scrolling through the top finishes, got down to a 7-3 finish by none other than Shuhei Nakamura. Is he in the Hall of Fame? He might as well be in the Hall of Fame if he's not. But he's like been a long time one of the best Magic players in general, and then especially to come out of Japan. I actually got to play against him at Pro Tour. I played against him in my win-in for day 2 at Pro Tour Philadelphia. That was the first Modern Pro Tour. And it was back when you played Constructed first and then Limited. And I had to win my last match to make day 2, and I played against him and just never had any shot. So fantastic player, tons of respect for him, even before I played against him way back when. But he was the top finisher to have a result with a black-based control deck, Sultai Control, as you can see here, playing lots of the cards that I've been enjoying playing with if you've been following my content at all. So the Deceit with Kavaero package, playing the Emeritus, which I showcased in my blue-black video that I recorded at the start of Strixhaven. And then splashing around in green for a bunch of ways to answer those hard-to-answer permanent types. So like Quandrix Charm can kill enchantments as well as just countering something early. So it's like the best quench that you can play if you're willing to make the sacrifices on your mana. Witherbloom Charm can destroy any non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less, so that gives us answers to Artist Talent, Cool But Rude, and things like that, as well as just being able to kill small creatures. The other 2 modes come up sometimes, but not really. It's really that third mode that you're playing it for. And then, of course, Awaken the Honored Dead, which can kill any non-land permanent. So playing the green for that, as well, and then Wistfulness can also disenchant something. And then the other thing he's playing the green for is Ancient Cornucopia, which playing this as your mono rock allows Withering Curse to be your sweeper. So Withering Curse, fantastic on turn 3 against the Cub decks. If they like try to have their nuts Cub draw, especially if they're on the draw, like Withering Curse can just kill their turn 1 elf and kill their turn 2 Cub and whatever other 2-drop they played with their nut draw. If we're on the draw, then Withering Curse is not as good against the Cub decks because they can usually outscale it before we can cast it. But yeah, having the Infest effect early or the Wrath effect later after you get Cornucopia in play, I've been impressed with this card so far, and I thought that I would miss having the clean answer of Deadly Cover-Up that I'm used to having in these sorts of decks, but Withering Curse definitely performed. Small sample size, obviously, but you have 4 clean ways to turn on Withering Curse, and then 2 like kind of awkward ways to turn it on. So it's really just the 4. But yeah, it seems like the format has kind of moved away from the need for a ton of Wraths, because I think this deck has a very solid Ouroborid matchup. Or it's not really an Ouroborid deck anymore. The main focus is Bright Glass Gear Hulk these days. But it has a good Cub deck matchup, even without Deadly Cover Up, thanks to Withering Curse, the plethora of removal, and then like our strong endgame. Let's see what else. Moving to the sideboard, there are the usual suspects: Duress, Disdainful Stroke, Negate. Strategic Betrayal is a very strong one, especially with so many crab decks running around. Like, not all, but like most of the Izzet builds are playing crab, even if they're not playing Sunderflock. And then it's good against Lessons, obviously, and it is also pretty good. Like there's just lots of decks that care about the graveyard. Yeah, but it's especially good against the crab decks. Keen-Eyed Curator, similarly, this guy can turn into a 7/7 really fast, and then also just gives us a little more graveyard hate, so that's kind of the name of the game. Curator also lets us do the trick against... I don't think I would side it in against Landfall, so I'm not even going to mention that. But one thing that I love is he's sideboarding Pest Control, because one of the benefits of playing Ancient Cornucopia and Starting Town to stitch together the 3-color mana base is that it kind of lets you free roll Pest Control on the sideboard, so against those pesky green decks playing a bunch of 1 casting cost mana dorks, Pest Control cleans up, and then especially nice against Storm Chaser's Talent. So when the Izzet decks kind of go nuts with their Talent Boomerang Basics opener, you get to just, slam Pest Control and clean up. So Pest Control is one of the cleanest answers to Storm Chaser's Talent. I've made lots of videos in previous seasons trying to maximize Pest Control, specifically because Storm Chaser's Talent has been everywhere. Wrench is the last card, I guess, that I haven't spoken about yet. 5 mana, 2/3. Look at the top 9 cards of their library. You get 2 of them, and you can play them for the rest of the game using mana of any color. Do need to be careful with this against like the decks with Boomerang Basics, and I've had situations where like I've stolen a card and then my opponent like returned it with it on the stack with Jeskai Revelation. It didn't come up in this video, but I have had it come up. So you do need to be careful with Wrench, but it's a powerful card, kind of slow, so I'm okay with just the 1 copy in the main deck. But it is a human, so when you side in your Cavern of Souls against the counterspell decks, you can just name human and cast all these boom booms, Kavaero, Emeritus, or Wrench, or you can call Elemental to protect your Deceit and Wistfulness. Things that I don't super love about the deck is the mana base. While it's super clean, right? Shuhei built a rock solid mana base. He obviously knows how to build very good mana bases. What is this? 4, 5, 10, 22 black mana for turn 2 Deceit, and turn 3 Withering Curse needs 18. And then what is this? 5, 6, 10, 15 green, which what you need 14, 13, you need like 11 green to cast Ancient Cornucopia, so more than enough green. And then 4, 5, 6, 10, 14 blue, which is a little low for being able to cast Kavaero on turn 4, but you can kind of lean on Ancient Cornucopia to help cover that. So maybe there should be 1 less green source and 1 more blue source in the deck, but I could be convinced. But like in terms of the colors, I'm happy with where the colors are at. Thing I don't love about the mana base is that Starting Town always feels bad, but it's kind of a necessary evil. But the real issue is that you don't get a whole lot of utility from your lands, whereas I've really liked playing these slower control decks that have some sort of utility land, whether it's like Restless Reef and Restless Cottage, or Bossing Say, or Demolition Field, or some mixture of those. Like, not having that, I have missed it. And the only other thing that I might want to improve on this deck, if I were to tweak it moving forward, is the deck is super well set up to play Urgent Necropsy. I don't know if it's needed because there's already so much coverage of those weird permanent types with the cards that are already in the main deck. But between Awaken, the Honored Dead, Rakshas's Bargain, and the Evokers, it's super easy to collect evidence. And it's not competing with like Deadly Cover Up in this deck. I guess it's kind of competing with Analyze the Pollen. Maybe Analyze the Pollen is why he's playing a few more green sources. That would explain it. But I feel like Urgent Necropsy, it's awesome against the Coolbit Rude decks, which one of the breakout decks of the tournament was like a Mardu Coolbit Rude deck that's playing the flashback Go Wide payoff that puts a +1/+1 counter on all your creatures and gives a creature double strike or lifelink. So they're like splashing white in the black-red versions of the Coolbit Rude deck. So that deck actually had really good, not super. It didn't. I don't know what the best record was on that deck, but it had a couple in like the mid-level, like 7-3, 8-2-ish realm. But there were so few pilots on the deck that it actually put up really good numbers on the weekend. So expect to see that deck popping up more, which Urgent Necropsy is very good against. It's very good against Lessons, which put a deck into the top 8. And I really like Urgent Necropsy against Landfall, although like the current Landfall decks are kind of like moving away from Sapling Nursery, but like you still need to be able to answer Earthbender's Ascension. I still think Urgent Necropsy is good. I don't know what I would cut for it. Maybe a Pest Control, because it's also good against Stormchaser's Talent, but not nearly as good against Stormchaser's Talent. So, yeah, that's just something that when I saw his list, I was like, oh, he's playing all the cards to reliably turn on Urgent Necropsy. And then he didn't have it in his 75, so that was a bit of a letdown. But got 3 matches in with the deck tonight, and I was not playing super tight. There were many times that I was frustrated with myself for making stupid mistakes and getting punished for them. But I can't say that I had very many issues with the deck other than what I've already outlined. It felt good. It hasn't seemed to catch on in the few days of results since the Pro Tour, but yeah, I guess it's worth talking about this here as well. The best performing standard deck on the weekend that didn't make top 8 was an Excruciator list that went 9-1, and I think that list kind of like answered a lot of the things that I didn't like about previous versions of Excruciator. I'm probably going to make a video on it in the next few days here, hopefully. But I think that deck might just be eating this deck's metagame share. So like the people that might be drawn to this deck post Pro Tour, their attention is probably on the Excruciator deck. So that might explain it. I'll go into more detail on it when I make that video, so keep an eye out. Hit that subscribe button if you're interested in that. Make sure you don't miss it. But yeah, that's the deck. Had lots of fun. Thanks for being here and checking out the content. If you find it valuable at all, jam that subscribe button. Liking and commenting is also a great way to help support the channel. And I appreciate you all being here. Let me know what you think. Constructive criticism always welcome. And hope you enjoy the matches. Catch you next time. Peace and chicken grease. A pari? A pare? A pair? App parry. Okay. I can roll with this. Some interaction, some card draw. I like it. Let's see what they got. Green-black. We gonna get their Annex? Tragedy Feaster and a Strategic Betrayal. I guess we'll take the Feaster. I do like that Sultai has so many disenchant effects. Especially with Shuhei playing the 2 of each of the charms. It's real nice. Gonna bargain at the end of his turn. That Bossing Say might be an issue, but we should be able to outscale it. Strategic Betrayal to catch my Deceit. Okay. I like that. They use their mana and a card on that, instead of spending their mana on Bossing Say. I definitely need a land, but I think I can afford to take one of these Kavaeros. Ooh, Analyze the Pollen. I think I just want to take a basic here, honestly. I already have a Kavaero, I already have a Deceit, I already have a Wistfulness. I don't need an Emeritus more than I need another land. Yeah. You got it. They took Witherbloom Charm, so they're probably playing Unholy Annex. I mean, they have to be playing Unholy Annex if they are playing Tragedy Feaster. Oh. Okay.
Mediocrity will not be tolerated. Learn something useful.
Don't need to take a point to pay the green, since they don't have any targets. Am I supposed to just pitch the Deceit here so I can for sure answer the Delian Fell next turn? Maybe? I wish I drew an untapped land. I think I have to do that, though. They're gonna minus the Fell, too, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, like, they're gonna be able to put a bit of a clock on us, but they have, like, a 2-turn window to draw something really good to really pressure. Okay, so they can take Curse or Shoot the Sheriff. Probably taking Shoot the Sheriff. Oh, they're taking Curse. Maybe they drew something sweet. I mean, I guess Curse it plays really well into Bossing Saying. Yep.
This is merciful.
Main deck, multiple duresses. Vadramolkun? That curse would have been really good. Oh, there it is. I think we still have to answer Fell, though. So black, bloom, bloom, black. Nice. And we get to follow up with either Curse or Emeritus. Emeritus. What's their best line here? Oh, okay, they have a ton of mana, so we're probably going to cast the curse now. No, I need to do it during their upkeep. Oh, I should have played that land, though. Whoops. Alright, we'll do this now, then. Seems like we are firmly in control here. Yep. Yeah. Drawn Badgermole Cub, like, might have bridged them into being able to contend with the Emeritus, but we drew the Withering Curse. Or if they had drawn, like, a second Delian or something, or like an Annex, they might have been in that game, in that spot. Wrench might be good against them. I don't love Duress. Like, I already have a bunch of disenchants in the main deck. But I think we can go with this. Strategic Betrayal's not that good against Cub. Maybe we want Bitter Triumph since they're playing Delian. What is not great against them? I feel like I like all of our cards against them. Maybe Charm is our worst removal spell to replace with Bitter Triumph. I kind of like all of our Boom Booms. Maybe if they're going to plan on attacking the yard, we trim a Kavaero, and for the Wrench then. I think that's a fine trade-off. Kind of just have to assume that everybody has some amount of graveyard hate in their sideboard, and they're main decking Strategic Betrayal as well, so... Oh, yeah. I'm all about this hand. Okay. They only have 4 cards in their hand, so this Deceit should be pretty good. If I didn't have the Kavaero in my hand, and I drew that Bitter Triumph there, I would probably Bitter Triumph instead. Oh, they have 2 good cards in their hand. That's unfortunate. They can cast either of them next turn. I guess I wouldn't be any better off if I Bitter Triumphed Cub, since they can still cast Annex. I think I need to take Delian and just try and get to Kavaero before they can do the back half of Ritual Chamber. No, I have Bitter Triumph in my hand, so I should have taken the Annex and just Bitter Triumph the Delian. Not good. Feel like I'm gonna start falling behind on life. I could Bitter Triumph Cub, probably paying the 3 life. And then Kavaero next turn, needing to pay another life. Yeah, but no, because they have the Keen-Eyed Curator. So I need to try and keep them off of green, so I'm gonna kill their their Verge and their upkeep. They're gonna activate the Sanctuary. Okay. Did they draw a forest? Boo. That's too bad. Are they gonna remove the Deceit now, though? It looks like they're fingering it, so they're going to. Oh no. All right. So the way that Kavaero is worded here, we get to do our thing. Blue, blue, black, black. Oh no. They can do it in response. Yeah, maybe I should have played the Cornucopia. No, I needed to get a creature into play. Curator is very good. So they get a bargain. Spot that we're in. Their opener was very good against. They lined up like really well against our opener. Jeez. We are in some trouble. Can they make this big? Instant sorcery planeswalker. They could have made a curator big. They should have attacked. We're probably just dead here. Yeah, I punted this. Not playing very well today. Should have taken the Annex and left them with Delian since I had Bitter Triumph. That's why I sided in Bitter Triumph, because they played Delian. Instead, I had just letting them. They drew like 3 cards off of Annex this game. So we can still draw Withering Curse. But like we have a 1-turn window essentially to draw it. And then they still have their man lands. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay. Maybe they have so many creature threats that I need to care about. Maybe Wrench is too slow. Maybe I just want to keep Witherbloom Charm in. Like, I'm not gonna lose on them grinding me out as much as I'm gonna lose on like the tempo like I did there. Gosh, this mono base. Gotta mulligan that. Okay, this is reasonable. That is a pretty stacked hand. doing that now, even though, like, that's kind of my answer to Delian, because I need to get to Chapter 3 to try and hit lands. Okay, well, there's a land. But now getting to Chapter 3 means that I will get to get back probably Wistfulness, since Deceit's going to get exiled to Kavaero here. You gonna draw a card? Yeah, they have to draw a card.
Show me what you've learned.
Do I have a land in here? I don't. Do I want a Wistfulness more than I want this Withering Curse? I don't have a way to gain life, so I think I want the Wistfulness more than I want Withering Curse. Okay, I'm blue. Blue. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's it. That was a good draw. Three, four, five, six. Okay, I do have a land in here. Cub. So they get to eat something. Or maybe they're gonna play Acolyte? They're not playing Acolyte. They're removing Deceit. I feel like it's pretty clear that I want to get my land back, because I'm holding the Wistfulness. Yep. Sure, I will upgrade my swamp to a Wastewood Verge. Unless, does Kavaero do anything for me? What do they have in here? Kavaero can turn into Emeritus. I could get back Kavaero. It's going to be a 4/4, which means I won't be able to block either of these and potentially take 9. I think I need to just do Wistfulness, though. So... yeah. Not loving our spot here. What's our best draw? Our own Emeritus? Was none. That they did not just attack with everybody. Okay, I need my wrath here. That's not it. Alright. Punted game 2, and they got us in game 3. Gotta play better, Sean. Comey? Okay, his hand is good. Kind of heavy on removal, so if we need to be proactive in this matchup, we might be out of luck, but I'm not going to mulligan this in the dark. This is kind of just what we signed up for, playing a mid-range control black deck. Okay. Keep that. I'm like 1 mana away from being able to cast it. Yeah. Like I just need to draw action, or what this hand is missing is just a bunch of action, so. Paw Patch Recruit. Interesting. That's too bad. Let's see. I mean, they're gonna get like Pixie and something, so I probably need to just play Awaken. Oh, no? Okay, hopefully we can get him with this curse. Yeah, maybe I should have killed the Gene Pollinator. I'm so used to playing against these green decks from seasons past and not having to worry about Gear Hulk. Like Ouroborid was kind of like the scariest thing that they could do. But Gear Hulk has definitely become the main. Ooh. So it's gonna give him 6 mana. No, 5 mana. Let's see what they can do. Like, the curse is just a straight up wrath, so. Okay, we're taking 7. We get to clean up. Yeah, and Gear Hulk is a much worse Kavaero target than Ouroborid was. Kavaeroing Ouroboros is one of the moments that you live for as a control player. Nice. Am I getting eroded? Gear Hulk, okay. There's Pixie. Okay. What do we bring in against Gear Hulk? And they're a pretty low to the ground version. I don't know if this is stock. I have not looked super closely at the Matt Nass list. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played, that's what the deck he played to top 8. I mean, Pest Control seems good when they're paying a bunch of Paw Patch recruits and Mono Dorks. What do I want to take out, though? Wrench seems bad. I guess Gear Hulk is a Wistfulness target, so that's pretty good. I can, like, trim on a Kavaero, I think. Yeah. Maybe I'm too willing to trim on Kavaeros, but I feel like everybody just brings in Graveyard Hate, so it makes sense to reduce your exposure to it. Okay. On the draw, this might be too slow, but if we can, like, kneecap their mid-level, like, they're going to spend their first 2 turns developing their mono, we spend our second turn trying to get the thing out of their hand. We could lose this game the same way we lost the last game too. Oh, no, they mulled to 5, so that's looking good for us. But even if we catch them with this Deceit, we can, yeah, this looks strangely familiar. We'll see what's in their hand. Do I want to just try and counter it? I don't, they might just go wide enough. Nice. And they can't activate the Air Temple next turn, so I have one turn window to draw land for this Withering Curse. That is not it. Yep, that's too bad. There it is. Just a turn too late. And this cannot bounce their Temple Garden. Withering Curse. No, I think I need to just dig for a land to draw Kavaero. They are in the tank. Yep. Those are lands, but they are very painful lands. But that's what we're taking here. That is very good. If I just didn't miss that land drop, this game would be like a cakewalk right now. So if I take Ouroboros, they're just going to go Cub, Sage, and then kill me with Abandoned Air Temple. And I have no shot at catching them with Withering Bloom, or with Withering Curse. I have to take the Ouroboros. Like, Emeritus might be able to hold down the fort long enough for me to, like, draw into a Cornucopia. No, they just went wide enough that I'm just gonna die. Well, no, maybe. Let's see. So I have to go to 4 to shock myself, but I'll be able to Withering Curse away 3 of their dudes, and then shoot the Sheriff 1, block the Temple Garden, and then I go to 1. Yeah, well. I should have tapped better and bounced this instead. Ancient Cornucopia. I'll take you. This probably stabilizes me. Let's see. They have to draw something really good here. Okay. I think we just stabilized. Did we just stabilize? Yeah, they might be being salty here. Yes, we want to gain 1 life. All right. I'd have to go back and watch, replay that game, but we took a lot of damage from our lands. It might have been like 8 damage from our lands that game. But we are playing the Cornucopia to make back the life. This seems like a pretty good matchup. With this deck evolving from Simic into Celestia makes their control matchup worse because they can't just side into the counter spells and like catch us in that way. Because it was a pretty awkward little game of cat and mouse where we're like, oh, are we gonna like run out of counter spell? Do we need to like spend our turn 3 like trying to get their counter spell out of their hand so we can Wrath on turn 4? But these Gear Hulk Celestia versions seem very straightforward, much more straightforward. So, like, once we stabilize, I feel like it looks pretty good, but they can go very wide. Rick Pie. Okay. On the play? I'll take this on the play all day. Okay, this might be control. Yeah, this is control. Let's see if we can find an opening to stick this bargain. Resonating Loot. Resolves. Alright, let's find something good. We have so many ways to kill that in our deck, and none of them are on the top. Okay. Jeez, that's so many lands. Really don't want to play that. It's unfortunate. I think we started off with 3 lands in our opener. I mean, it was 3 lands and 2 cornucopias, in all fairness. Hey, look. So if I Deceit to peek at their hand, then I can Kavaero the Deceit to get rid of the loot. But if I do the lead with the Wistfulness and they counter it, then Kavaero can only do 1/2 of the Wistfulness. I might be being too greedy here, but let's see what they got. Okay. And now to do black. Should have moved into my next step. If I get 3 steps here, I deserve to lose. Yep. That's frustrating. I mean, the game's not quite over, but it's basically over. That's frustrating. All I had to do was move to my second main phase, and then they couldn't have 3 steps to me. Yeah. Sorry, this is not very good TV. Yeah, we are not winning this game. Alright. X is out. Shoot the Sheriff is out. Witherbloom Charm is out. Withering Curse is out. And the rest of these seem fine. Alright. Maybe I should have cut a land since I added the cavern. That is super frustrating. Losing to their floating mana when I easily could have just moved to my second main phase. I mean, they still might have had no more lies, but yeah, they still could have had no more lies. But it would have at least been a lot less tilting. Alright, let's recenter. We have a good game 2 against them. Get out of here. Yes, please. Don't want to play into their no more lies. Cornucopia is not that important, so if they counter this, that's fine. Yep. I guess I should have played an untapped land. 3 steps ahead, Disdainful Stroke, stock up, consult. Their hand is stacked. And I guess I take the 3 steps ahead. It's only 3. I just can't cast spells on their turn, but I can still activate abilities, so... So instant sorcery and land. Do you want to Disdainful Stroke this? Do you want to Disdainful Stroke this? No more lies. Rough. Seven, yeah. Alright, go dig for an answer now. Keen-Eyed Curator is a very good magic card. Ooh. Rather surprised they paid the 2 before stocking up. Okay. Nice. Don't even need to Kavaero. Well, I guess if I did Kavaero, I could have used the map tokens. So they can do it for x equals 2, which is going to draw them 4 cards. If they draw a land, they can do it for x equals 3, which is going to be 8 cards. Dear Lord. I think I need to take the Mathemagics. And then just Kavaero. Yeah, I can Kavaero and protect it with Negate next turn, so I have to take the Mathemagics here. Yeah, they would have just drawn 8 cards. That's so sick. Alright. I do have another one in my yard. Yep. Okay. Blue, blue, black, black. Kavaero. What? I was looking in my exile instead of my graveyard. Ooh, playing super sloppy, Sean. But... So I probably should have played the wrench there instead. Hopefully they don't top deck something insane. Gah. And they can still cast Revelation if they draw it. That's so sick. So sick. Top 8 cards, too. Oh. That's so sick. Keep having to take these X spells instead of their loots. What a... Becomes a wizard. Yep, wizard. Great Hall of the Biblioplex. They're at 2. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if they have an instant or sorcery, they can 11 me. And I don't... Okay. Oh, I can't... Gosh, I'm playing so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone that has to watch this. Why not double block wrench? We tried to give that one away so many times, but we managed to hold on. Ooh, okay. Maybe we want to keep in some Witherbloom Charms since they have voice. I don't know what I would want to cut though. I guess we sided in an extra land. Or maybe like Cornucopia is the cut. It's like a mono rock, but you can cut one more land. Which land? What is our worst land? Starting Town? No. We might just want to keep the land count high. They play a lot of counter magic. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Voice of Victory. Let's see what you got. Loot, Disdainful Stroke, Jeskai Revelation. But they can't make blue mana. That's interesting. So I think I just take Disdainful Stroke. Because, like, I have two answers to loot. And the Revelation... Maybe I want to Awaken. Yeah. If they draw the land to unlock their mana to play loot. Maybe taking Stroke was the wrong play there. I should have taken the Revelation. Okay, we got lucky. Do I want to get back a Kavaero? I think I just sit pretty here and just camp on my Quandrix Charms. I guess I don't have double green to Quandrix Charm and Rakshasa's Bargain. This might be awkward, because I don't have 3 green. So, do I play it safe and just evoke the Wistfulness? Probably. That sucks. Hmm. I can at least stroke the... So, what do I want to keep in here? I want to keep Wistfulness and Deceit, probably. Three, four, five. So I could play Uncounterable Wrench here, but I think I just need to make sure I can win the fight over this Rev. Oh, nice. They're at 10. I think they can win through this negate. Alright, we got pretty lucky there. They got mana screwed. We're gonna call it here. for this video. I like what Shuhei did. I mean, he's obviously a fantastic player. And a very good deck builder. So, you know, the mana checks out. I like that the bases are covered with 2 of each of the charms, giving you a little bit more like general counter magic that doubles as enchantment removal, or just life gain that doubles as like non-creature or non-land cheap things removal with Witherbloom Charm. Withering Curse, like the times that we needed it to be a wrath, it was pretty reasonable for it to be a wrath. Like Cornucopia is really the only way to turn it on, but I guess technically Hex is a win, and Witherbloom Charm if in a pinch. But the 3 mana mode came up a few times, so I kind of like playing with this configuration of leaning on it as the wrath. You have to be playing Cornucopia if you are, but this deck kind of wants to play Cornucopia since it's playing so many boom booms on the top end. Bargain seemed fine as the card draw spell. Being an instant was relevant a couple times over stock up. And I don't think it came up in these 3 matches that I just recorded, but like it being 3 colors to gain life with Cornucopia came up when I was like messing with the deck before recording. What don't I like about this deck? I don't love that the mana base is I like the mana base is solid in terms of like having your color requirements. But I don't love starting town. But it's a necessary evil in the deck, and I don't love that you don't get any utility lands. Like, you can't possibly dream of playing any colorless lands in terms of Petrified Field or Demolition Field, and you don't get to play any man lands or like Bossing Say, which is disappointing. But I like the deck is very powerful. Kavaero, Deceit, Emeritus. That is a proven package. And I like that the grain gives you answers to all like the weird non-creature permanents, especially like loot is very, very powerful and relevant. Like Jeskai Control didn't have a big finish at the Pro Tour, but like it put up, it's consistently putting up enough numbers for it to be considered like a solid fringe deck. Yeah. I thought the sideboard was fine. It's weird that like going into the Pro Tour, everyone was all about is it, and then the Cub decks did the best at the Pro Tour. Because I guess the is it decks were like inbreeding to fight each other instead of like playing their Sunderflocks to beat the Cub decks. So, but now like it's resulted in a metagame that's a tick slower. So like a lot of the control decks that I'm seeing are not playing like a full 4 of Hex or Seam Rips or whatever. And so you can kind of like play this slower game, which I like. So props to Shuhei for making a sweet deck. This was like the only black base deck that put up this was the highest ranking black base deck at the Pro Tour. But I'm glad that I got to try it out and mess around with it. It's right up my alley, and I'm glad that he was using a lot of the cards that I've been enjoying brewing with and had success with it. So props to him. Obviously one of the greats, and yeah, let me know what you think of the deck, and I'll catch you next time. Peace and chicken grease.